Okay, so you know what's really buzzing today? This pretty unexpected news that OpenAI, the ChatGPT folks are apparently looking into building their own social network. Wow, okay. Yeah, that could really shake things up, couldn't it? Especially in a space that feels, well, pretty settled already, right? Makes you think, definitely. And actually, it was you, our listener, who pointed us towards this really interesting piece in India Today about it. So we thought, okay, let's do a deep dive. Good idea. We want to unpack what these reports are actually saying. Maybe figure out why OpenAI might be doing this and what it all means, especially with that whole, let's call it a situation between OpenAI and Elon Musk's X. Exactly. And that India Today article is our main jumping off point. But it's important to note they're citing reporting from The Verge. Okay, so solid tech reporting behind it. Seems like it, yeah. But, nothing official from OpenAI themselves, just reports for now. Got it. So let's dig in. These reports are saying OpenAI actually has like an internal prototype, not just an idea. That's the word. Yeah. A prototype social network they're playing with internally. Okay. And this is key. The article stresses it's in an early stage. So very early days. We shouldn't imagine, a finished product ready to launch tomorrow. Right. More like an experiment at this point, precisely. And what's the focus of this prototype? What are they actually testing? Well, it seems very tied into ChatGPT's newer image generation features, Dolly and the like. Okay, the reports describe it as having a social feed, kind of like other platforms, but integrated with this AI image creation. And here's the kicker, yeah? They specifically draw a parallel to Elon Musk's X, formerly Twitter, of course. Okay, that's interesting, comparing it directly to X. Very telling, isn't it? It suggests maybe a focus on like visual content, perhaps AI-generated visual content being shared and interacted with, kind of like how tweets and images work on X now. So does that mean it'd be its own separate app, do you think, or something baked into ChatGPT? Because that feels like a big strategic question. Oh, absolutely, huge question. Putting it inside ChatGPT, instant access to their, enormous user base, right? Yeah, that's a massive advantage. But a standalone app gives you more freedom. You can build specific features, create a totally separate brand, maybe target a slightly different audience even. True. Given that comparison to X and this focus on visuals, maybe a separate app makes more sense if they really want to compete head on in that social space. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so the big why would OpenAI, already doing so much, jump into the, frankly, very messy world of social media? Right? It's crowded. The article hints it's about using AI to make content more engaging. That seems to be the core idea. And there's this quote in the Verge piece from an AI lab researcher that India Today picked up on. It's quite revealing. Oh yeah, what'd they say? They basically said, the Grok integration with X has made everyone jealous, especially how people create viral tweets by getting it to say something stupid. Okay, that's refreshingly blunt. So the thinking is, AI like Grok is good at making stuff, even silly stuff, that just takes off online. And OpenAI wants a piece of that action, wants to give their users tools to do the same. That looks like a big part of it. Think about it. You prompt ChatGPT, make me any picture of X, and bam, you share it right there on their own platform. A network built around AI creation. Exactly. It could create a totally different vibe, a different kind of interaction compared to, say, Instagram or Facebook or even X as it is now. Okay, but we have to talk about the other layer here. This whole thing lands right in the middle of that ongoing rivalry, Musk versus Altman. Oh, you can't ignore that context. No way. India Today rightly flags it. It adds this whole other dimension of, drama almost. Yeah, maybe just quickly remind us, what's the history there? Why the tension? Sure. So Musk was actually part of OpenAI way back at the start, right? Co-founder. I remember that. But he left in 2018. Reports suggested disagreements over like the company's direction, safety, that kind of thing. And since then, he's been pretty critical of Altman and the shift OpenAI made from nonprofit, open source, this massive for-profit, much more closed-off company we see today. Yeah. Musk argues they strayed from the original mission. And it's not just old history, is it? They've had some recent jabs too. Oh, definitely. The article mentions Musk's rather surprising offer to buy OpenAI for, what was it, $97.4 billion, which felt very much like his Twitter offer style. Yeah, totally. And Altman's comeback was pretty sharp, offering to buy Twitter, X, for $9.74 billion, 10%, okay? Yeah, so it's personal maybe, or at least very competitive. It certainly looks that way from the outside. Very public, high-stakes competition. So OpenAI potentially launching a direct competitor to X, where Musk is pushing Grok, I mean, that feels like a very direct move in their chess game. It absolutely reads like that. Whether it's a main motivation or not, it would undeniably position them right against Musk in a domain he's invested in. Now, it's fascinating, but the idea of OpenAI doing something social, it wasn't completely out of the blue, was it? Didn't Altman hint at this before? Yeah, that's another good point the article brings up. It wasn't a total surprise if you're watching closely. They mentioned an old post on X from Altman. What was it? It was a reply to some report about Meta possibly building a ChatGPT rival, and Altman just casually posted something like, fine, maybe we'll do a social app. Huh? Just tossed it out there. Yeah, it seemed almost like a joke at the time, maybe. But looking back now with these prototype reports, it looks like maybe it wasn't just a joke. Maybe the idea was already simmering back then. Quite possibly. It suggests social features or maybe even a full app have been on their radar for a while. And it's not just OpenAI thinking along these lines, right? The piece also mentions Meta. Correct. Reports suggest Meta might also be working on a kind of standalone AI assistant app, potentially with its own social feed component. Think Grok or ChatGPT, but from Meta with social built in. So this is maybe a wider trend. AI giants seeing social integration as the next step. Seems like a convergence. Yeah. Powerful AI meeting social connection. Maybe they all see potential there, a way to embed their AI deeper into people's daily lives. Okay, so if we try and piece it all together based on these reports, the most likely picture is OpenAI developing a whole new social app. Seems that way. One that's separate but deeply connected to ChatGPT, especially for making images and maybe other content. And it's positioned right against X and Grok. That appears to be the most plausible scenario based on the leaks and rumors circulating. A dedicated app gives them space to innovate and makes the competitive angle very clear. Right? Okay, so let's boil this down for everyone listening. What are the absolute key things to take away from this news? Okay, number one, OpenAI, the ChatGPT people, are reportedly testing an internal prototype for their own social network. Okay, number two, it seems heavily focused on integrating AI, particularly for creating visual content, and is being compared quite directly to Elon Musk's X. Got it. Number three, this whole thing ramps up the existing pretty intense rivalry between Altman and Musk. And finally, number four, this isn't happening in a vacuum. Other big players like Meta are also reportedly exploring similar integrations of AI and social features. It's a trend. Okay, that sums it up well. And for you listening, why does this matter? Well, it could mean a major new player entering the social media game, and not just another clone, but one where AI is baked in from the start. Imagine creating and sharing stuff in ways we haven't even really thought of yet. It could be different. Yeah, it really could. And that leads to the big question to maybe leave everyone with. Go on. How will this kind of deep AI integration actually change social media? If AI helps us create engaging content like that researcher said, what does that actually look like? And what happens to just authentic, spontaneous interaction online? Does it get drowned out or enhanced?